Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to take you through how I put the Terminator X into the Foxbody Mustang. This car is running an LFA motor. It's very similar to an LS2, and here's kind of what the finished install looks like. Let's give you an idea what we're going to go through. So the computer's down there underneath the driver's seat. Got all my wiring runs out through the center console, underneath the center of the transmission tunnel, comes out underneath the intake manifold, obviously goes to the injectors, coils, things like that. So I'll take you guys through how I put this together. Maybe we'll start with the fancy unboxing shots, and yeah, let's go from there. Alright guys, so something I want to go over today is just kind of how to get a clean install. Now I did a video just the other day actually on like kind of how I wire tuck this, but this video I'll just go into a little more detail of the Holley specifics. But something that kind of drives me nuts in the lower mainland, you go to a car show and you maybe see some nice hot rod from far away, and he's got the hood popped in the parking lot, and then his wiring is just like a total disaster. Like, don't be one of those people. You know, part of wiring one of these cars, even though all the stuff is plug and play, like a big part of it is just taking your time and the routing, because even though these harnesses are universal, you'll see, and like even in this application, I had to make some modifications to really make things fit nice. It's going to take a while. So just take your time on it, and just remember, the better job, if you do a really good job of wiring this thing, then you're not going to be really worried about if it's a hot summer day, you have some wire that gets super hot and grounds out, or this or that. Like, it makes the car more reliable. And when you've taken your time and kind of placed everything nicely, you know where everything is. It's not a total pigsty or a rat's nest. It's going to save you a lot of grief on the hot summer days when you actually want to be driving your car. So with that being said, this car essentially has two different like super highways, if you will, of wiring. So the engine harness comes from down there on top of the transmission tunnel, essentially through underneath of the intake manifold, and then out to all the engine components. The other part over here, on the other side of this fender, is the other kind of highway. So we got a bunch of wires over here, we got a bunch more stuff over here. So in the fender is the starter solenoid, relays for the fuel pump and fan. The body wiring harness also comes out, which includes the headlights. So that's kind of the two main areas where I made sure when I was doing this, everything has to go into one of those spots. So obviously all the wires that hook up to the battery go through there, and all the wires that go to the engine go through that side. Okay, and this is a pretty standard example of how I see most of the stock GM ECUs wired up look in their car. They got this like giant computer, and it's junk. I mean, you bought the Holley, that's why you're here. So yeah, let me take you through how to install this. Alrighty, so the place to start with this is definitely the mounting. You can see these harnesses that come with the Terminator X. Like, I've got the transmission harness as well as the engine harness. They're a little bit long, so I get a little bit of the look I showed you in the first shot with the garbage can there, but I don't know. At least it's hidden under the seat, I guess. just don't have the heart to cut these harnesses, but you probably could. I mean, if you really wanted it ultra nice, you could probably try to cut and repin the harness, but I don't even know if it's worth your time. So you see the computer, I mounted it on this piece of aluminum, this 3/8 thick aluminum, and it's got some flathead socket screws coming through the bottom. It's bolted down to there. And the nice thing about that, it also acts as your ground as well. You can ground everything to it. So you can see the relays that come on the Holley harness. That's where all this stuff goes. So this car I'm actually running the Holley map. This is built in, saves you having to go buy a map sensor, and also saves you one extra set of wires under the hood. So you see all these wires just run up through the side of the carpet, right underneath there, and then into the abyss back there. There's a giant hole drilled kind of on top of the transmission tunnel down there. And if you want to drill that hole, you can only do it with the transmission out. You're not going to be able to get in there with the transmission in the car unless, like, maybe you've got some kind of a crazy right angle drill and a step drill. Maybe you could, but the hole's got to be pretty big to get all those wires through. Okay, so we'll start at step one, which is obviously the power harness. Okay, so this is your power harness here. This runs all the way through, and you come around here, you'll see that this harness connects directly to the battery terminals. So it kind of runs underneath the wiper motor here, through the fender, and then to the battery terminals. So I always see the question out there of people asking, you know, does it have to go directly to the battery terminals? Well, I mean, I feel like the people at Holley probably know what they're doing with this stuff, and they put it in like big bold letters, has to go to the battery terminals. So I mean, that's why I've always ran it to the battery terminals. You might be able to get away with doing it somewhere else. I just don't really know what the result would be. So on the subject of power wires, there's two other power wires that come up here. Okay, there's the one from the transmission harness, and there's one more power wire that comes as a loose wire on your Holley harness. That's for your injectors and your coils. So really, at the end of the day, you have three power wires running up here. Okay, so while we're on the loose wire topic, there's a couple other ones here. So there's a green wire that comes off of here. That runs over to that location, and that is for your fuel pump. So that triggers your fuel pump relay. There's also one which is blue with white. That goes to your tach output. So for this car, what I did is I took the gauge cluster out, found the tach wire, kind of chased it down the line there underneath the dash and spliced into it there. Now there's obviously on here, there's a big ground wire. That ground wire, that goes with the power harness. It goes right to the battery. There's one more loose ground. That one I connected right to my aluminum plate there. Okay, so as far as loose wires off the Holley go, that's essentially it. When we start talking about outputs, I'm only running two outputs off of this. I'm running one output to my fan relay. So the outputs on this end up kind of showing up right there behind the stereo somewhere. So one of those runs to my fan relay, which is also at the front of the car. The other output is the AC kick wire. So when you go full throttle, it shuts the AC off. I've ran that one over to the passenger side of the car there. You can see that wire I found there. That's the power wire for the AC. So I haven't wired that one in yet, but that's coming up. Okay, next we'll go over to the transmission harness, which I think, yeah, it's this guy right here. That's transmission harness. So it's kind of a big connector, and it goes right through my floor here. There's a hole somewhere. Anyways, that connector goes right through here, right into the transmission. It's a 4L80 in this car. This would be the same thing for 4L60. And if you have a manual transmission, then I really wish I was you, because I can't afford it. Okay, as far as power wires and stuff are concerned off the transmission, same thing. There's a big red power wire that goes back up front to the battery. There's a black wire, which is obviously a ground. You can just ground that one to this location here. There's brake switch wire, so that one's pretty important. So in the Foxbody, this pedal, it's power through the brake light switch. So when you press the switch, it pretty much connects 12 volts from one side to the other. So that other side, that's where you put that gray wire to. And what that does is when you're in the highway and you hit your brakes, it unlocks your torque converter. So that's super important. Some people you see online, their cars, you know, stuck with the torque converter on, they can't figure it out. That's why the torque converter isn't unlocking from that. Okay, elsewise for the transmission, you can see there's that big old connector there plugged into the side. There's two little plugs that go onto the transmission, but that's it. Your transmission's done. So let's move on to the engine harness. Alrighty, so we'll go through the engine harness now. So this one's pretty straightforward. So maybe we'll start with the injectors. So you can see the injector clips are kind of on the inside of my fuel rail. Not those are the coils. The injectors are on the inside. So that harness kind of plugs into the main harness, and then you shoot those all out to your injectors. I've obviously ran them underneath of the intake manifold there. The coils are similar. There's two big coil plugs, that one and that one, and I found that of all the wires on the harness, those are actually the shortest ones. So before I mounted my computer, I wanted to make sure that the harness was the right length. Okay, so I kind of laid everything out and took a look at it. And what I found was that those coil harness wires are really short. So they barely made it to the coils from that location under the driver's seat there. So because I've got a flip throttle body, which I'll take you into for 1 second, I actually have all my auto air control, TPS, those wires there, that pack of wires, those all run down this side of the car. Traditionally, with the throttle body flipped over, those wires would come down this side, and the driver's side coil plug would plug in kind of just up top there. So now my driver's side coil plug actually has to go from over here all the way to the other side. So what I did is I actually got a coil harness extension for that one set of coil packs off of Amazon, and it worked great. It was like 25 bucks Canadian for two of them, and yeah, I don't know, plug in, go, it's done. Okay, some other just kind of details on this harness. You can see that guy there is the coolant temp sensor, and it's going to plug in just over here on this side. Now, one thing I'm doing with this car is I'm using the factory Ford gauges as well. So I'll have the Holley gauges and I'll also have the factory Ford ones. So to make that happen, I've actually got to make some kind of a T that goes into here. This is a metric thread. So I'll have one standard GM sensor and I'll have one Ford sensor. I might put the Ford sensor somewhere else, but we'll see. Okay. As far as oil pressure goes, I've got one of these oil pressure adapters in the back here. That's just a cheapy Amazon part. It's like an M12, I think it is, M12 to NPT. Now I'm running one mechanical gauge, and the only purpose for this is just on startup. I want to just make sure I can get the oil system in the car primed and have pressure in it before I start the car. And sometimes you may get unlucky with the sensor may not work. It's just a really cheap and easy way to verify that. Okay, so as far as the Ford oil pressure sensor, sorry, this is a hard shot to get. Right there above the oil filter housing, there's this block-off plate. I'm going to drill and tap that, and that's where I'm going to put the factory Ford oil pressure sensor. So that's the purpose of that, is really just so the gauge works. And really, lastly, on the engine harness side, we have to talk about the crank sensor. They come coated in this like tin foil stuff, and that plugs into the bottom here. Cam sensor plugs into the front of the engine. I actually messed up on this car. I accidentally put a 2X cam pulley in it instead of a 4X. So this computer isn't going to work with that. So I'm actually going to run no cam sensor. I'm just going to run it like a wasted spark setup, like my old micro squirt setups used to be. I don't know. I've never really noticed a difference from sequential or not. So I'll try it out and see how it goes. This harness here actually also has two sensors for NOx sensors. I might actually try them out. I took the NOx sensors out of this engine, but I might actually buy a couple new ones and throw them in just to see how it works. Maybe use it as a tuning aid. I wouldn't really rely on it though, because NOx sensors rely a lot on the factory resonant frequency of the engine. Like, they can determine when the engine's knocking, it's around a certain frequency, and that has to do a lot with like material shapes and properties. Okay, so if you look at how this engine's mounted, if you can see it, that's a bad shot, sorry. Let's go over to this side. That's a little better. So if you see how this engine's mounted, It's literally just solid metal plates onto a solid metal K-member through solid mounts onto a solid body. So this engine's gonna shake like a lot more than the factory one would. The rubber's not gonna dampen it. The exhaust is different, so all those things can play a factor into your knock sensor calibration. How much of a factor? I don't know. That's just what I've heard. It makes sense to me, but I've never actually used knock sensors before. So if I do use them on this thing, I'll let you guys know how it works. All right, so one thing I love about this car is this little 3D printed bezel. So my buddy's a 3D printer. I just designed this in CAD. So check out how this thing looks. Some kind of death screen there. Ah, there she is. So it's pretty good visibility. So, I mean, like, if you're actually keen enough to watch my videos and care about something like this, if you message me in the comments below or on Instagram, I'll send you the CAD file as long as you promise not to sell it to anyone. But, I mean, if you got a 3D printer, I don't care. Take the file and make your own. It's a pretty cool little piece. I think it's one of the nicest ones out there. There's a lot of other ones where the screen kind of sticks out super far. And, yeah, let me know if you're interested. All right, another couple points here. So, the LCD screen and your USB cable. The Terminator X kit includes that screen, but it does not include the USB cable, and you don't want to tune your car from this. Like, you can use the startup features in the Wizard, which are decent, like it'll get your car running, but you don't want to try to do any kind of tuning on that thing. It's not really going to work that great unless you have a super basic setup. So you really need the USB cable. Now, the connector for this thing is this like teeny tiny little four pin connector, and it just seems so easy to break. So if you're plugging it in and unplugging it all the time, you might damage it. So what you got to do is you got to get a CAN-bless Y splitter, so it plugs into your CAN port, and you can plug both of these guys in at the same time. And like I had mentioned before, you can't update the ECU firmware with both of these plugged in. So one thing I can guarantee you is when you plug your ECU in, you plug your laptop in the first time you go to use it, you'll have a new version of Holley software. The firmware on this thing will not be updated. So it will make you update the firmware. So just remember, when you're going to update your firmware, both of those guys can't be plugged in at the same time, or the splitter. So unplug the splitter, unplug the USB cable, plug the screen in, get your new files on the USB, or on the SD card, sorry. Go through that process. Don't try it through the USB cable. It doesn't work as good. And make sure you don't try it with both of those plugged in at the same time, or you're going to brick the ECU and you're going to have to send it back to Holley. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope this video gave you a good idea on how I wired this car. I didn't go into some of the immense detail that some of my other videos have, because I feel like there's a lot of information out there on wiring a Terminator X. I kind of wanted just to show you how I did it, how I made it look clean, and how it worked for me in a Foxbody, how I mounted it, stuff like that. As always, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to shoot me a message. I try to respond to everyone, but I think you'll find the installation of this is pretty straightforward. You're not going to run into a lot of roadblocks and hurdles. Like, there's so much information out there on the Holley forums and things like that. I really don't think you're going to have an issue. One thing you may have some trouble with is just learning how to tune the car. That's something that is kind of a completely different skill set, involves a lot of software. It's not hard to do. I mean, the biggest thing obviously is ignition timing, right? Like, that's where you can really hurt your engine, and knowing how much timing to add without blowing it up. It's hard to do that without a dyno. So if you do end up installing this thing yourself and getting it run good, like, don't feel bad about taking it to a dyno and spending $500 and getting someone to tune it, because that's a completely different skill set. And a lot of the guys around who are super good tuners, they've had a lot of trouble, and it's cost them a lot of money to get the skill set that they have. So if you can't tune it super good, I mean, don't worry about it. Try your best. But I would just be taking it to a dyno if I was you, to try to get your, try to get good horsepower numbers, try to get your timing dialed in, things like that. Especially a forced induction car. Like, most turbo cars are just going to spin and spin and spin on the street. You're never going to be able to street tune them very good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and let's, I'm hoping we get this thing running pretty soon. Thanks a lot.